Renewed concern tonight over a problem with overworked public defenders. About 6 months ago, we told you that the state approved just over $1 million to pay part-time public defenders to get cases to trial faster.
Now that money is close to running out, and as Carter Thweet shows us, it has defenders and lawmakers pushing for quick action.
I've always been overloaded with cases, but when we came out of COVID, it bombarded us, especially the violent crimes.
Greg Parrish, executive director of the Arkansas Public Defenders Commission, says his office needs help. In August, the state approved funds to continue paying part-time public defenders to cut down on the backlog. Parrish says so far, this has worked wonders, but
we will run out of those funds the early part of June of this year.
It's a problem lawmakers here at the state capitol are following closely. Representative Tippy McCullough is part of the group that pushed for the public defenders to get this money.
What we tried to do is get the prosecutors and the defense attorneys together and let's figure out what they need to help with that backlog and see what we could do about getting that money to help them with that.
Parrish says if these funds run out, the cases these part-time attorneys are handling could overwhelm the state's legal system.
Those would revert back to the local offices and be absorbed by the public defenders that are on staff that are already inundated with a heavy caseload.
Parrish says he plans to appeal to lawmakers soon for more funding for more public defenders. McCullough says they'll be listening.
You want the system to work as well as it possibly can. So yes, I would certainly like to be able to help in that.
Carter Thweet, 5 News.
Parrish says originally the money wasn't even expected to last until June, but he had some public defenders step down, allowing the funds to last a little longer.
Also new tonight, the city of Fort Smith says they've gotten reports of a slight pink or purple tint in their water system. They say the water is still completely safe to drink, and it's all caused by a temporary overfeed of something called potassium permanganate at the Lake Fort Smith treatment plant. The city says they're flushing their system and the color should return to normal in the next couple of days. And in Rogers, police are investigating after 3 kids discovered human remains near a bike trail. That discovery of an apparent skull and bones came yesterday afternoon in a wooded area behind Rogers New Technology High School. Officers secured the scene until investigators processed it this morning. Police say the remains appear to have aged significantly. Detectives will work to determine how and when the death happened. We'll keep you updated. And a Winslow man will spend 8 years in federal prison for possession of a biological weapon. 44-year-old Jason Clampett was sentenced in federal court yesterday. Investigators say he produced ricin at his home. Authorities launched an investigation last January after a tip claimed Clampett may have poisoned a family member. While in jail, Clampett was caught on a monitored call, directing someone to dispose of a jar containing the toxin. This week's sentence comes after Clampett pleaded guilty in October.
Tonight, we're also learning Benton County Justice of the Peace Gregory Woodell has died. Woodell represented District 9, which includes part of Bentonville. He took office this year, but joined the Benton County Republican Party in 2017 and served on the County Planning Board of Appeals. Celebration of Life service is set for 10 o'clock next Saturday at New Heights, Bentonville. Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders will appoint someone to finish out Woodell's term. All new tonight, a Fort Smith nonprofit is looking to give back to schools 1 meal at a time. Jesse's House is raising money to pay off student lunch debt. I spoke with the group today on why giving back to their community that they also serve is so important, especially now.
We need to take action now because this is just going to keep accruing over time.
Jesse's House is a community hub and shelter for LGBTQ+ young adults.
It really just gives you the courage to want to do more than just yourself. Like, you want to expand to those around you.
They were looking for ways to give back to the community after President Trump's executive order that would have paused federal grants and loans. It's since been halted.
I think it really has fueled our whole drive and passion for what we do because it's well, this is a place for safety.
Jesse's House says they've learned some schools had thousands of dollars in school lunch debt. They're now raising funds to pay off those burdens.
Like, we're trying to give them the option to be like, no, you can be more, you can get out of this.
Fort Smith Public Schools says that 72% of their students are on free or reduced lunch and that these meals are essential. According to an Education Data Initiative study, Arkansas schools have over $90 million in student lunch debt, and almost 200,000 children are food insecure. And as a nonprofit, they know what it's like to be at a disadvantage.
As a shelter, we were like, well, of course we know what it's like to have people who are economically disadvantaged and who don't really have the finances to do any of that.
They're trying to lift weight off a community because every child deserves lunch at school.
Everybody deserves to be cared for. Everybody deserves compassion. And it would be a shame to not do that for other people.
For more on Jesse's House's initiative and how you can help them reach their goal, you can visit our website, 5newsonline.com.
Well, as is typical, Friday is getaway day for lawmakers as they wrap up another busy week in the 95th General Assembly. They had Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders signing dozens of bills into law this week. Among the headline grabbers, squatting is now a criminal offense. Gun safety courses can be taught in schools, and several bills that change the ballot petition process for canvassers and voters are now on the books. This week, lawmakers debated 3 bills focused on changing the tobacco and vaping industry in the state. One of those would penalize parents if their kids repeatedly get caught with tobacco products. But questions over enforcement and fairness gave some lawmakers pause.
In this, though, we're fining them for things that they may not even realize their kids are doing.
I'm assuming a lot of parents who would be targeted would be lower income just based on statistics that I know about.
That bill is being reworked to address those questions. Meanwhile, the governor unveiled her plan to end the state's grocery tax. It wouldn't affect local sales taxes, but economic experts predict families could save $200 to $300 per year. And lawmakers are on track to keep meeting into April. The state constitution says a session can only last for 60 days. 2/3 can vote to extend it. If it goes longer than 75 days, 3/4 have to agree. The target wrap-up day is set for April 16th.
Right now, the Trump administration is expanding its efforts to slash the size of the federal government. The Department of Homeland Security announced today it's ending a collective bargaining agreement that provided union protections to TSA workers.
Meanwhile, a group of veterans held signs outside of the VA clinic in Fort Smith earlier today, calling on Republican leaders to stop the job cuts. Veterans have already been speaking out against the cuts at the VA that so far had included a few thousand employees and hundreds of contracts. More than 25% of the VA's workforce are veterans.
White House spokeswoman Anna Kelly says the president wants to, quote, ensure greater efficiency and transparency at the VA. The VA last year experienced its highest ever service levels, reaching over 9 million enrollees and delivering more than 127 million health care appointments. You've already heard about the toll scam text messages going out to people across the country. Now scammers are targeting potential job seekers.
Our Verify team breaks down the latest scheme trying to trick you into applying for jobs that don't actually exist.
Yeah, there are so many things in here that are questionable.
Cybersecurity expert Eric Cron says texts like these are designed to distract you from red flags.
They want you to feel good. Hey, several people have told us what a wonderful person you are, right? Who wouldn't enjoy hearing that about themselves?
It looks like a great job offer, remote work built around your own schedule with time off. But Cron says a closer look exposes the scam.
If you're going to get a call from an organization about potential employment, it's probably going to come from human resources, not a customer service person.
Some other dead giveaways: an email address that looks auto-generated, parentheses around the company name, meaning the message is likely a template scammers use. And the Federal Trade Commission says if you didn't apply for the job, it is most likely a scam. Cron says these phony texts are more powerful than ever right now because of how the U.S. workforce and economy are changing.
The timing couldn't be better. The more stressed we are, the more emotions we're feeling, the more likely we are to take a step with one of these that we wouldn't normally trust or engage with at all.
Remember, job applications often ask for personal information you do not want in the wrong hands. So if you get a text like this, do not respond. Home Depot tells us they only hire through an online career portal, which is also the case for most other major employers. With your Verify, I'm Courtney Robinson.